Welcome to the Transformational Soul Show with your host, Ruth Soltman. Are you ready to experience more stability in your life? You can change your life and be who you are meant to be, your authentic self.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Transformational Soul. My name is Ruth Soltman, and I would like to welcome you. Our show is streaming live right now on YouTube, Rumble, X, and BitChute tonight. And welcome, whatever platform you are watching on. I greatly appreciate you joining me this evening. I'm very grateful that you are here. If you happen to be watching or listening to the replay, it is available on so many different platforms, but you will still get the same great information and the same amazing energy that will be felt, by all of us tonight. Please hit the like or the thumbs up button, and please share the show information. I greatly appreciate that. And if you are here, please say hello in the comments, because I would just love to chat with you and say hi and see how you're doing. I invite you to check out my website, ruthsoltman.com. It's RUTH, S as in Sam, OL, T as in Tom, M as in Mary, A, N as in Nancy.com. And you can go to my website and find out all about my books. You can find out all about my services. And you can find out about my oracle cards. So go there and check that out. I also want to invite you to come over to Telegram. Goldylocks Productions has this amazing group on there, and we interact all day long. A lot of great information is shared there. So come and join us if you can. We would love to have you. Tiffany did put up the link for that. Just click on that link and you'll be there. I want to say hello to Sarah. Happy birthday, Sarah. Sarah's celebrating her birthday today. I want to say hello to Robert, Richard, and Lenka watching over on Rumble. And Robert, thank you so much for your donation on Rumble. I greatly appreciate that. And I also want to say thank you to Jan for her very generous donation that she sent me through Venmo. I greatly appreciate that. Now, Goldylocks Productions, in addition to the Telegram group, we also have an online merchandise store where you can purchase some really awesome stuff. Now, I'll talk about it more next week, but next Friday or next Wednesday, they're going to have a sale starting. That's going to run for a little, I think it's like a week or so. But I was going to wait and mention that to you guys next week because it's a week away. So just keep that in the back of your head if you've been thinking about maybe ordering something, there's going to be a nice discount. And don't forget to check out the Goldylocks Productions Oracle cards, Energize. They're called Energize. And they have these beautiful sacred geometry symbols, and they have beautiful quotes and sayings from all of our show hosts. It was a very wonderful collaborative effort on, the part of all of us. And, if you order your own, then you can pull yourself a card every day and get a wonderful message. If you joined us this past Saturday for the Spiritual Message Circle, thank you so much. It was a ton of fun. Now, if you haven't joined us before for the Spiritual Message Circle, mark your calendars now. Next month, August 10th and the 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Those are Saturdays. We always have the Special Message Circle on Saturdays. I know we have some new viewers and some new listeners, so I want to make sure, that you feel included as well. If you want to come over there and join us, we would love, love, love to have you. If you would like to give a tip or donation, you can do that via my Venmo or a Rumble rant on Rumble. Please note that Super Chat and Super Stickers are no longer available on YouTube. Know that your tips and donations are greatly appreciated. It does help to cover the cost of my show every month. So that's really awesome. Now, if you do make a donation via Venmo during the show, please indicate in the comments so that I can thank you and give you a bit longer message. And I'll also put you, to the head of the line for a message. More announcements. On September 1st, Goldylocks Productions begins its 10th season. How amazing is that? Now, also beginning on September 1st, our shows will no longer be live streamed on YouTube. So if you currently watch us via YouTube, this gives you plenty of time to check out one of our other platforms that we stream from, Rumble, X, or BitChute. It'll give you time to download them if you need to. If you need to set up an account, figure out how they work. They're very user-friendly, but just don't wait to the last minute because you don't want to be scrambling on September 1st and be unable to watch, one of the shows. So, I suggest, you start doing that the sooner the better because it's going to make it easier for you guys. So September 1st, no longer live on YouTube. So again, I want to wish a very happy birthday to Sarah and Gracia, celebrating her birthday today. And look at this. She has joined us. Thank you, Sarah, for gracing us with your presence. I greatly appreciate that. And I really hope you've been having an amazing day. And I also want to wish a happy birthday to everyone who's celebrating this week. Hello, Linnell. Nice to see you. And let's send out some love, light, and healing to Robin McGuire and her son, Carolyn Carey's daughter, Carrie, Maureen, Brandon, Jamie, Josh, and to all who are in need. So I have a lot. I'm giving you guys a lot to think about tonight. So I'm going to try and go a little slower because I know sometimes, when I get excited, sometimes I talk a little fast and I don't want you, something to just like fly by. I know when I hear something, I have to like pay attention, so that it doesn't just leave me. But the point is for you to be informed, educate yourself. And first, just to clarify, I am not a medical professional, and I am not suggesting that you stop taking any medications that you may be taking. If you feel you need a medical professional, please seek one out. Our bodies have this amazing, amazing ability to heal itself. We just have to surrender. We have to get out of its way. So that it can do what it naturally, inherently does, heals. Our human bodies have all of these amazing systems that work without our effort, right? We blink, we breathe, we digest our food, we sneeze, and we heal. These things take place all of the time, right, within our bodies, without us concentrating on it, without our effort, without thinking about it. Now, we can sit there and focus on our breathing and make ourselves breathe a little bit differently, or we can blink our eyes 500 times in a row if we want to. But those systems do work on their own. Now, I've always believed that our bodies have this innate ability to heal themselves. That all of the processed foods that we consume, the prescription drugs that we take, the unhealthy lifestyles that we create, they create obstacles for our body to heal. They get in the way of our healing. They're these big, huge roadblocks that our body has to overcome first before it can even try to heal. So it takes longer, it's more effort, and everything. Now, have you watched any commercials lately for prescription medication? So, and I've noticed this, I don't purposely watch commercials, but they'll come on, as advertisements. So one will come on and it'll tell you what condition it treats. It treats it. It doesn't heal it, but it treats it. That's what they will say. And then for the next 3 minutes, it tells you all of the side effects associated with that drug. It'll scroll them through the screen and you will hear them say the words. And I kid you not, it's a good 2 or 3 minutes. Many times the side effects are far, far more worrisome than the actual condition that you are being treated for. So think about that. Just think about that. Let that really sink in. Many times you have to take something to counteract the side effects. And then a lot of times that has side effects. Think about that. It's very easy to not think about it. We all, we get a prescription. We all have that little leaflet or pamphlet or printout that they give you that says, side effects. And it's not usually one or two things. There'll be like mild side effects, moderate, severe. But in order for our bodies to do what they are intended to do, hello, Melissa, they have to be given the correct and proper fuel, right? Just like your car, you're not going to put gas or water, not going to put oil or water in the gas tank, right? And expect it to operate properly. You have to give your body the appropriate fuel. Now that includes, but it's not limited to, but it includes nutrient-dense foods, vitamins and supplements if needed, water, exercise, meditation, sleep. So much of our soil has been depleted of much needed nutrients that we may need to add vitamins and supplements to our diets. Now look at a lot of the foods on the market: cereals, boxed foods, processed foods, milk. The process that they go through is so intense that they have to add vitamins back into the products. It will say right on the package, fortified with vitamin blah, 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 because the process that this food went through removed all of that. It stripped it away, so they have to add it back in. Now, there's many people out there that talk about alternative medicine or natural remedies. Barbara O'Neill, Dr. Buttar, Dr. Brzezinski, Dr. Sebi, David Wolfe, and they all talk about healing in different ways, ways that are not what we would call conventional or mainstream. But when you put their names in the search bar on your computer, guess what happens? You see words such as self-proclaimed, dangerous, unsubstantiated alternative medicine claims, conspiracy theorist, disinformation. It all comes up. And I checked it out for myself today. So try and tell that to all of their clients, right? That were treated or had their diseases reversed. So look for the truth in all things and ask yourself questions when you hear these things. Like, why is it like this? Why is it this way? Hello, Marsha Morse, watching on Rumble. Hello. Now, I saw a couple of great memes during the week, and one of them was posted by David Wolfe, and it said, and I had to really think about this, and this is something that I've thought about before, trying to remember back to when I was a kid. And it said 90% of the food sold in grocery stores today did not exist 100 years ago. And neither did 90% of chronic disease. So just think about that for a moment. We're smart people. We know what resonates with us. We know the truth when we hear it. I was trying to think back to a lot of different products that we had when I was a kid that as far as like processed foods and that. And I don't know. I guess I didn't pay that much attention. I know we had cereals and we had space food sticks. Some of you guys probably remember those. Um, and snack cakes. I know we had a lot of stuff, but we didn't eat um, processed food all the time. You know, when we had mac and cheese for dinner, it wasn't out of a box. It wasn't powdered cheese. It was macaroni, cheese, milk, you know, cooked in the oven, and it was really good. Um, but it's a lot different than that now. Not a lot of people have the time or the energy to do that. So the other meme that I saw was posted by Jan Holden on my profile page, and it said, and I love this, I've heard this before, and I absolutely love it. Why do they call it alternative medicine when it is the original medicine that humans have been using for thousands of years? Chemical medications were discovered about 100 years ago. Wow, I mean, that is incredible, right? All the stuff they call New Age is the old stuff, the ancient stuff. We are returning to the old ways. Nothing New Agey about that. This is ancient wisdom. I can remember a lot of things, and you guys probably do too, that maybe your mothers or your grandmothers said to do. Just for example, a wart. You cut a potato open, rub a potato on the wart, and then bury the potato. And that's what my grandmother told me. And once the potato rots away, your wart is gone. I'm sure there's no scientific anything about that. And they called it an old wives' tale. But every person that I knew that ever tried it, it worked. So this is the ancient wisdom. It's never really gone away, but I feel like it has been kind of hidden and buried a bit for a while. So we are coming back into that now, which is very exciting, very exciting. Now, I talk about Barbara O'Neill a lot, I know, but she's pretty amazing. She has great advice. She talks about how, this was very interesting, and Tiffany and I were talking about this the other day. She talks about how the standard measurements for cholesterol levels have changed. They lowered what is the normal range so they can get younger and younger people on cholesterol lowering drugs, which they will be on, they say, for life. So do your own research on cholesterol and what it means for your body. The same thing for blood pressure. They have lowered the normal range. This gives them the opportunity to get more patients on medication. Now, my mom was on blood pressure meds, and not just one. They gave her like 2 or 3. And when I asked the doctor about it, it's because each medication did something different. It had a different effect on her blood pressure. Okay. Her doctor also put her on cholesterol medication as a precaution, even though she did not have high levels of cholesterol. You know, like when I would hear these things from my parents, I would just kind of shake my head because it doesn't make any sense to me. Now let's talk about type 2 diabetes. Medications and insulin for that as well. Now, the 3 conditions that I just talked about can all be healed and reversed with lifestyle changes. Now, although that's something that I already knew or felt like I knew years ago, it was told to a family member by their physician when I was present. And that is something that we have control over, lifestyle changes. So why is it that some people are willing to make those changes while others are just fine with, just give me a prescription? I'm fine with that. It could be years of conditioning, because it was ingrained into us so much that this is the way it is and this is what we have to do. And as you get older, there's going to be more and more medications that you're going to have to take, and you're not going to be able to do this anymore. You're not going to be able to do that anymore. I don't buy it. Now, it also could be from people watching what their parents did, right? Because that was their example of, how to do things. It could also be laziness or inability to be open to change. But it could be that they just aren't aware yet that there is something else out there that they could do instead that's not going to have all those nasty side effects. I think that's the one thing that always got me, was all the things that instead of dealing with the one issue, now you've got these 15 issues on top of it that you're dealing with. And a lot of the medications that my mom took for her cholesterol, which she didn't need, her blood pressure, and then her diabetes, fatigue was one, nausea, dizziness. So, a good portion of the day, on a good day, she still felt like crap. So you have to really take into account all of those side effects and how they can affect you. Now, past generations, they took the medical professionals at their word. That's what they learned to do. That never would have occurred to them. Like, it never would have occurred to my grandma to question her doctor, to say, well, why are you giving me that? Well, it didn't even occur to my mom, because when she went to the doctor a few times when she had like a virus or something, and she said they gave her an injection. And I said, well, what did they give you? Oh, I don't know. You do not ask. It ended up being like a B12 shot that, because she just totally trusted her doctor. It wasn't even a question for her. They just did everything that the doctor told them to do. Most of the time, they didn't even question it. They just thought, well, why is the doctor going to give me something that's going to harm me or that's not going to be good for me? They just couldn't fathom that their doctor would give them bad advice or tell them something that wasn't for their best or highest good. But we now know, sadly enough, that that is not the case at all. Many of us have experienced the exact opposite ourselves, or with a friend or family member. So we do know now. We know better. Our generation, I feel like we have seen the light when it comes to this. Our eyes are wide open. We're not afraid to look for something more. We know better. So we're doing better. We're educating ourselves. If you went to the doctor or someone and the doctor diagnosed you with a specific thing, you can't tell me you're not going to come home and do all the research you can on that topic, because you are. And then you're going to learn a whole lot of stuff. But we now know that we can take control of our bodies and our health. We can do that. We know what is for our best and highest good. Only we know that for ourselves. We know that there's a natural remedy for what ails us. I can remember even when I was young, I always thought to myself that there was, for whatever dis-ease or ailment there was out there, there was something growing somewhere that was a cure for it. I always, even at a very young age. Now, I don't claim to have all the answers for everyone, but individually, we need to know our bodies and we need to know ourselves. We need to know, because we know what is best for us, right? And if we don't, we need to figure it out pretty quick, because it's very important. No one else is going to look out for you like you are. No one else is going to have your best and highest good at the forefront of what they do. But you are. And, for so long, people didn't realize they had the control over their bodies, what they put in their bodies, as they do now. I'm not saying that, people were force fed or anything like that. But you look, there's so much information out there. Take, for example, diets. I mean, there's probably thousands and thousands of different diets. And this diet may work for one person, so your friend tries, let's say, the Mediterranean diet, and oh, they love it. They have great success with it. You try it and it doesn't work for you. That you go and try, let's say, the Atkins diet. I don't know about these diets or what they consist of, but this is just examples. And that really works for you. Our bodies are so individual. We have to figure out what works best for our own individual body. That is so, so, so important. We have to figure that out ourselves. So anybody could eat one thing, like say, okay, I know one, the cabbage soup diet. I've heard of that one, where you eat cabbage soup all the time for like a week or two or whatever. And sure, that's going to help you with your weight loss. However, what's going to happen when you're no longer eating just cabbage soup? I mean, cabbage soup is very healthy, yes, but we have to be very well-rounded with what we put in our bodies, right? We have to be very well-rounded. And we do need a lot of high vibrational foods, because I'm going to tell you, you feel so different after eating high vibrational foods than you do when you eat something really heavy or greasy or something like that. Your body feels different. It feels the difference too. And I had talked a couple of times about the intermittent fasting, IF, and I just want to bring that up again for a quick minute, because when we were saying earlier about how we put all these obstacles in our way to keep our bodies from healing, one thing that intermittent fasting does, and it's not anything, when you hear the word fasting, I know a lot of people stop listening, but it's not anything that intense. It just means you eat in a certain window. Within this window, it could be a 4-hour window during your day. It could be a 12-hour window. It doesn't matter. But after that time, you stop. You don't eat anything. Your body rests. As it is resting, your body doesn't have to constantly be digesting food. So all your internal organs get a break. They get to relax a little bit. And when they do, stuff that's going on in there begins to heal. I urge you to look up people's success stories on different things that they healed and reversed with that. Weight loss can be a side effect, but primarily from the different things I have read, it's to get your body to a healthier place, to give you a healthier attitude and relationship with food. Because a lot of times we just reach whatever's in the pantry and eat it, while we're watching TV or while we're reading a book. And a lot of times we don't even pay attention. And you can sit there and eat a whole bag of chips without even realizing it, right? We've probably all done that at some point. So just be mindful of what you eat, what you're putting into your mouth. And that's one thing I've noticed for me. I have to make myself pay attention because, when I'm busy or I'm just kind of going through my day, how we go through our day, our normal routine, a lot of times it's so automatic that we don't think about it. So I try to be a lot more mindful with my meals, because otherwise I find that it's easy to eat just, I don't know if it's out of habit or just because you don't think about it. So try to be more mindful. Now, we can't all afford, high-end vitamin supplements and food, right? So just do the best that you can wherever you are in life, because we can all make some kind of improvements. We can all do that. Now, again, I am not a medical professional, and I am not suggesting that you stop taking any medications that you may be taking. If you feel you need a medical professional, please seek one. You are the only one that has your best interests at heart. The only one. Keep an open mind. Be willing to learn new things. Be open to change and do your own research. A lot of times, it's because some people don't like change. I've known a lot of people in my life that do not like change. Any kind of change. It doesn't matter if it's good. It's just the fact of it being different. So sometimes people will kind of wig out a little bit if they change their eating habits or change what they eat. I've known several people in my life that were diabetic, type 2 diabetes, lifestyle created. And not one of them was willing to change the way they ate. Not one of them. They knew that they should. They knew that their blood sugar levels getting really high was dangerous, but they weren't willing to make any changes to their diet or their lifestyle. And that right there can lead to a lot of other health issues. Sarah said, Linnell's over on Rumble. Awesome. Sarah said she's been splurging a lot today. You're supposed to. It's your birthday. And, it's not that doing these things once in a while or eating, the crap once in a while. It's when we do it all the time. I've seen several videos where people will go to a fast food restaurant, they'll get a burger and they'll get fries, and then they take them home. I'm not naming any restaurants or anything, but you guys probably have seen these too. And they'll take that hamburger and those fries and they'll sit them on a shelf somewhere. They go back years later and they don't look any different. There's no mold. They haven't decayed at all. I saw one today that really made me laugh because the receipt had completely decayed. Like all the writing had worn off of it from it sitting there so long. But the food, no, wasn't even nothing. So that tells you something. But if you think about it, when you eat that kind of food, how it makes your body feel. Because I know when I did, like it would sit like right in the pit of my stomach. Right. And that every time I would think afterwards, I'm like, why did I just eat that? Because it doesn't sit right with me. Now, that's not everybody. There's some people that can, eat like fast food every single day. But I don't really feel like anything in moderation is horrible, right? And there's always new information coming out about different things. But, there are so many foods that we don't realize that have a good amount of protein, a good amount of this vitamin or that vitamin or calcium. I can tell you when I was a child, I never drank milk. Well, I take that back. I would drink chocolate milk at school, but I never drank regular milk because I couldn't stand it. My mom would always get mad, milk, you need that for your bones and blah, 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 the calcium, blah, 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 blah. Well, so far to this day, I still don't drink milk. When I was a kid and I would have cereal, I would put enough milk to just wet my cereal a little bit so it was a little bit wet. But I never drank it on its own, nothing. And to this day, like I don't have osteoporosis. I've never broken a bone, nothing. Sarah said she's never been able to stand the taste of milk. No, it's just gross. And then as the years went on and I read how human beings are the only creatures that drink the milk of another species beyond infancy. And that really grossed me out. So even if I was a milk drinker, I think I would have stopped then. Because when I started thinking about that, I was just like, oh, that just does not resonate with me at all. So, I'm kind of grateful that I've never liked it. But it just floors me sometimes when I will see somebody like a grown adult pour a glass of milk and have milk and cookies. I'm just like, I don't know how you can do that. I just don't. So even though I didn't drink it as a child, I still grew. My bones are still strong, um, and everything. So that must tell you that we get that calcium and those vitamins that they say are in the milk from something else, right? It's got to be. But it's amazing. You can, you can research fruits or vegetables that have a lot of protein. Or you can look up anything and find any information that you need or want. You just have to make the effort to do it. Marcia says that food was better before the 1980s. I believe that. I totally believe that. And I don't know what year it was, but when I was like that, they started fast food restaurants. But I remember when I was a kid, we went and got like Long John Silver's. No, it wasn't Long John Silver's. It was Arthur Treacher's Fish. Oh, and White Castle. I remember them having White Castle. But that's the only thing I really remember. We didn't go to McDonald's all the time as a kid, even though I think they were around then. As I got a little older and I was like a teenager and started driving, yeah, we'd stop at Taco Bell, and stuff. But food the last several years tastes different than it did 10 or 15 years ago, too. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, but I certainly have. I certainly have. So, just do the best that you can with what you have to work with. We can all make improvements of some kind, right? They don't have to be. So that's the thing, too. We strive to be a healthier person, to have a healthier lifestyle. You don't have to make all the changes at once. Make little changes. Make little changes. Over time, they become big changes. So every little step matters. Every little step counts. So keep working on that. And this energy, which I know we've all talked about it a lot, it's really still intense. Today felt like a really good day to me. I felt very energetically comfortable. I didn't feel like, stressed out or anxious or anything. I didn't feel like totally calm and relaxed either, but it was very, well-balanced day. We do have some really powerful energies coming up in the next several weeks. So keep that in mind. But these are amazing transformative energies. They are helping us to transform ourselves and helping us transform our lives. So feel into that energy, let it work with you to help you achieve your goals. Sarah said, I've noticed since I stopped using white sugar in my coffee, I feel so much better. I use stevia in my coffee. Yes, I like stevia or stevia. I don't know how you say it, but I've used that for a lot of years. It's from a plant, from the stevia plant. And I will say that it's all natural. I don't taste any aftertaste. I've had friends that were adamant sweet and low users. When you taste something that has one of those artificial chemical sweeteners in it, that's what it tastes like to me. It tastes like chemicals. I will tell you, I can remember many times there was a big name brand of bread. It was huge when I was a kid. Now, I can recall one of my kids having this or something, and I got a piece of bread out one day to make, I think, one of their kids a sandwich or something. And I smelled the bread. To me, this bread smelled like chemicals. It did not smell like bread. I don't know anyone who bakes their own bread. I think it would be amazing to do that. And I've often thought about, trying that at some point in my life. Yes, Sarah said the artificial sweeteners give me migraines. Yes. Yeah, I guess my puppy does want something. She's been great so far, but I think she's getting bored with me. Here you go. There you go. Go have a treat. But I found that too. My mom was real big on the artificial sweeteners because she thought it was better than sugar. And when I would try something that had that in it, like I honestly don't know how she could drink it. She did have headaches a lot too. And when all these reports started coming out about the artificial sweeteners linked to headaches and there's a few other things, she didn't really want to believe it because she had her Pepsi Max. That's what it was, Pepsi Max, that she drank like I drink water. She loved those, and I'd always try to tell her, and if you do some research on the whole thing with the sugar and the artificial sweeteners and see what kind of effect that has on spiking your blood sugar levels as well, because the information is definitely out there. What I would like to do is I'd like to give some messages. And if anyone would like a message, please let me know. I have Jan and Robert and Sarah that I'm going to do first. Thank you guys for your donations and happy birthday to you, Sarah. So, Robert, what do we have for Robert? Okay, Robert, number 40. You are worthy. You are worth it all. You are worth it all. So if you might be feeling like you don't deserve something, a lot of times we'll get down on ourselves and we'll feel like we don't deserve something good that kind of just falls into our lap. How many times have we all felt that way, right? So know that you are worthy. Know your value, Robert. Know your value. Don't let anyone devalue you in any way. And don't let anyone tell you that you are not worthy. Don't let anybody lead you to believe that in any way. And if you have to use affirmations, I am worthy. I am worthy of all the good that is coming to me. Whatever you need to do to boost that up and for you to believe it. And raise your vibration. Raise your vibration. Well, you are welcome, Marcia. Thank you. You're welcome. Raise your vibration. What things can you do to help you raise your vibration? Well, Robert, I know that music can help. And I know you listen to a lot of music. Just movement. Sometimes we just lay around and, maybe we'll watch TV or we don't get too active. I'm not saying this is you, but I'm saying in general, I know a lot of people that do that. They just like to chill and relax. And when you get up and move around, no matter what it's doing, you could just go for a walk. You could just spin in circles in your living room. You could dance. That movement, that body movement creates a new energy. It clears up any stagnant energy and it helps to raise your energy and your vibration. So I hope that resonates with you, Robert. Jan, what do we have for Jan? Oh, that's a good one. Jan. See what we have for Jan. Okay, Jan, the first card I got for you is number 23. And this is a beautiful picture. And it says, let it go. Let it go, Jan. It says, let go of all that no longer serves you. It's okay to move on. It's safe to move on. It's for your best and highest good for you to move on. So anything that you have in your life right now that is no longer serving you, that is no longer for your best and highest good, you have to let it go. I know letting go can be scary. It can be freeing. But I know sometimes, you might want to hesitate a little bit because you don't know what's beyond there if you let this stuff go. But it's going to be okay. It's for your best and highest good. And they're wanting you to express your joy. Express your joy. When people see you, let them know that you are just full of joy. Just full of joy. And express that in any ways that make you happy. Maybe when you go to the grocery store, maybe you stop and buy yourself some flowers. Maybe that creates a lot of joy for you. Maybe you go get yourself a specialty coffee and that creates a lot of joy for you. But show yourself more joy. Show yourself more love. And take really, really good care of yourself. And don't second guess yourself. Once you make a decision, know that that's the way it's going to be. Don't second and third guess yourself because that will drive you crazy. Sarah. Go on an adventure. And this is number 17. Go on an adventure. I love that. It's a beautiful picture there. Looks like Pegasus. It says, today is the day to try something daring. So I know today is your birthday, and maybe you tried something daring, on the food end. Maybe you did something just a little bit different, just so that life doesn't get really monotonous, right? But you need to have a fun adventure. You need to have more fun. I feel like that very much. You've been doing a lot of work, and now it's time for you to relax a little bit and have some fun. And they're wanting you to have faith and know that everything that you are working towards, all of the healing that you are doing, it's all for your best and highest good. And everything is still on its way to you. All this good, this wonderful stuff is coming for you and coming to you. So they're wanting you to have faith and know that it is still on its way. Just be patient. So I hope that resonates with you. Oh my goodness, Richard. Okay, Richard. I think the last 2 times I pulled this, that I used these cards, I pulled the same card for you. It's number 16, and it says, go inward. Go inward. I feel like there's some kind of work that you need to do on the inside. It says it is time to connect with your inner child. What can you learn from connecting with your inner child? Is there something that you used to do when you were a child that gave you great, great joy and you've forgotten about? Is there some dream that you had when you were a child that maybe you have forgotten about? Getting in touch with that inner child within you is going to help heal that inner child as well as grown up Richard. You're welcome, Robert. So go within, Richard. See what it is that you need to work on. Talk to your inner child. Talk to little Richard. That came out kind of funny. But you know what I mean. You as a boy. Um, because when I did that, like I remembered things that I used to love doing that I had completely forgotten about. So it's a great, I don't know if you could call it like an experiment maybe, but it's pretty awesome to do that. Okay, Lenka. I have Lenka. Number 31. It says seek guidance in this. And it says it is time for a different perspective. So I feel like I don't know if this is maybe there's something different you want to do or some kind of a project, but I feel like you just need to take a look at it from a different view, a different angle. Because when we look at it from a different way, it looks completely different. Just like when we're in the middle of a situation, a lot of times we can't see beyond that. But when we're on the outside and look and observe, don't wait, observe, don't absorb. When we are observing, we see things completely differently. We have a better, more balanced understanding of things. So, whatever it is that this means for you, just take a look at it from a different angle. Sarah said, thank you so much. I went out of state today for dinner. It was great getting away for a few hours. Woohoo. I'm excited for the blessings on the way. So you did have an adventure then, Sarah. That's really cool. Linnell. Number 43, Linnell. You do not have to go it alone. No, you've got that wonderful spiritual team, all of your angels and guides. You have your spiritual family. It says, reach out for support in this time. Just know that in any given situation, on any given day, at any given time, you are never, ever alone. You have a wonderful support team, a spiritual family here on this earth. And you also have one on the other side in spirit. And all of us are here for you. We are all rooting for you. So know that. And don't ever, ever, ever be hesitant to ask for help because you never have to do it alone. And they just wanted to remind you of that. Melissa. Ooh, number 29. Run wild, Melissa. Run wild. Let your inner wild child run forth. I could totally see that. Run wild. Whatever it is, Melissa, that when I hear the run wild, I think of run free. Just know that you are free to run wild. You are free to do what you want to do. You are free to go where you want to go. So just, let your imagination, let your intuition guide you, and do something really, really fun. Do something that's going to bring you a lot of joy. Marcia. Oh, Marcia, number 5. Now, with the exception of one card, I believe every card I pulled was an odd number. Interesting. It says, be true to who you are, Marcia. Be true to who you are. Fear will not stop you from shining. Be true to who you are. That is absolutely beautiful. And I feel like you are. I feel like you are very true to who you are. I feel like you are very authentic. That's what your energy feels like to me. And you know what? New things come up all the time. You may discover something new that you never realized that you liked or enjoyed. And that looks like a beautiful unicorn. Let's see. Yeah, it's a beautiful unicorn there with wings. Oh, nice. Um, so you're just like that unicorn. You're unique. You are spectacular. I love that. You know, we are all unique. And how boring would life be if we were just like, you know, clones of each other? We were all exactly the same. It would be so dull. So dull. So be yourself, Marcia, because when you are that beautiful light that you are, that beautiful love that you have, it shines through. Hello, Carol Ann. Nice to see you. Okay, I have a message for Stony. Number 38. You are enough. Oh, that's a beautiful picture. You are enough. You do not have to give more. Know that you are enough, Stony. And you do, I know you do, I feel that you do a lot for other people. And sometimes you probably feel like you need to do more. But what you are already doing and what you are already giving exceeds other people's, wildest dreams. So know that. Know that you are enough and that you do enough. And Carol Ann, number 20, Carol Ann, it is time to celebrate. Look at that pretty card. It is time to celebrate. And it says, cultivate an air of celebration today. So, Carolyn, what are you going to celebrate? It doesn't matter what it is. Celebrate the sun shining. Celebrate, we woke up this morning. But I feel a celebration is in order. I feel like a lot of things have kind of not really had you down, but you've been concerned and worried about things. So I feel like now it's time to celebrate. You're welcome, Carol Ann. And Tiffany, I pulled a card for you, and it is number 6, which is really just like 2 3s, right? It says, become aware. And I love this picture and I love this message because this is a great one for all of us. Listen to the wisdom of the body. Because, I know you are very tuned in with yours. And we all need to be, right? We all need to be tuned in to the wisdom of our body because it knows. It knows so much. We just have to, be still and listen and observe and learn. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. I've had a wonderful, wonderful time with you guys this week. You're welcome, Tiffany. I will see you guys back here next. Now, next Wednesday, it's going to be the last day of the month, and then it will be August. Crazy how fast this time is going. Absolutely crazy. So we'll be back here next Wednesday. I want you guys to have a wonderful week. Take really good care of yourselves. Drink lots of water and get some really good rest. I love you guys so much. Good night, everybody.